Well, we'll start today with a very happy birthday to the one and only Lindsey Buckingham, who by now is a former Fleetwood Macer. Well, he took to television in the United States the other night, performing live on Jimmy Kimmel, as he prepares to go back out on the road and do stuff solo. Would you like to see how Lindsey's sounding now at the age? Insert your own guess there. Here he is.
I think I'm in trouble. Don't know what trouble, yeah. Don't know what. I think I'm in trouble.
He is such an amazing player. 69, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Sad news coming to us today here at Nova Towers. He was in with us a couple of years ago, a fella called Geoff Emerick, who went on to become the Beatles' chief audio engineer and one of the chief audio engineers in the iconic Abbey Road studios. Well, Geoff Emerick passed away yesterday at age 72. He has an unbelievable story, and man, could he tell the story well. Began work at Abbey Road at age 15 as an assistant engineer, and then went on to work on and create a lot of those innovative sounds you've heard on Revolver, on Sgt. Pepper, on the White Album, and on, of course, Abbey Road. When he came in to see us at Radio Nova, Dee Woods and myself had a chat, and by God did he have some stories.
So when we were waiting for them to come into the control room for the first Sgt. Pepper session, John comes in and said, well, on this album, first of all, he said, we're never going to tour anymore. And then George Martin said, well, why? He said, because, we're just not going to tour. We tried to do some of the Revolver songs and couldn't do it. So we can now concentrate on making records with sounds on them that no one's ever heard before. Yeah. And we don't have to reproduce. Right. So that's that was the approach. Wow. And then, because it got, we knew when we'd finished Pepper that it was something special.
Now, happy Christmas to David Bowie fans. We are about to get his 2000 performance at Glastonbury in full. Up to now, we've only had sort of snippets or at max 30 minutes of Bowie's performance, but now we're going to get the full 21-song set list, which is going to be coming out in November, right at the end of November, cha-ching, just in time for Christmas. Remind ourselves, this is how it looked back then. Now, if we were to say the words Peggy Sue to you, what do you think of? Do you think of the first licensed female plumber in California called Peggy Sue? The same Peggy Sue who was the inspiration for the song Peggy Sue, released in 1957 by Buddy Holly and the Crickets. And of course, then there was the sequel, Peggy Sue Got Married. Long story short, Peggy Sue went to school with one of the Crickets members, and then she ended up marrying him, and Buddy then wrote the song Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue is another one who passed away just last night. And on that note, we end with some Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Peggy Sue.
Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, oh Peggy, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, and I need you, Peggy Sue.